to get more clarity on the, of course, appeal by the president of the Nigerian Curling Federation. We've got the president here, Damola, joining us all the way from Paderborn, Germany. Thank you so much, Daniel, for joining us today on the show.
Thank you for having me again on your show.
Right, it's great to have you here, but we know that at this time it's not a happy moment for the youth callers who their dream of representing Nigeria is really hanging in the balance right now. What has been the challenge around preparations for this competition, Daniel?
To be frank, I'm a straight shooter. A lot is hanging on the balance. Let me start from the May one, which according to plans, we're supposed to have about 3 training camp for these youths. None has happened. And the last one we have hope for, which is in December in Finland, which we are supposed to go back there, have a training camp, and then play in the Junior B, is now not visible because of some people in the Ministry of Youth and Sport, specifically the the acting FIT director, who doesn't want this to happen for these kids. I must call out names now because it's time to start calling out names. Recently, we had that she said she's not going to sign to the note verbal, which we requested for these kids to be able to secure their visas to go to Finland, all in the name of saying that the federation is not directly under the supervision of the Ministry of Youth and Sport. And we have submitted a series of documents for those to be rectified by them, which they've not done that path. Now, to this issue, we've bought tickets, just waiting for them to issue the note so that they can secure these kids' visas, so that we can go there and train and then participate to fine-tune our program ahead of Gangwon 2024. These kids have put their academics online for the country. I have put in mine also for the country. What else can anyone do for the motherland than this? We've put in all what we've got, my finances, everything. Now, for some people who call themselves sport administrator, trying to dash the hope of these children, what else can we do more than this? The national anthem says, Nigeria calls, and we obey the call to serve our fatherland. And that's what we are doing, irrespective of anything. The flag that we want to fly there is not our flag. It is the green and white flag of Nigeria. So if the country cannot do the needful for us to get to Finland, to have this final training camp, and also to play and fine-tune ourselves, then what is the effort for? No, it's not about money. It's the ticket of this team, right as we speak. If they want it now, I can send it to them, all in hard currency. Them since just issue this letter because we don't have an appointment at the embassy that can suit us now. That's why. And these kids are not first-timers. They've all traveled far and wide. We took this kid to some of the officials in Abuja there to be seen by them. And what are we getting in return?
Okay.
That is the question they should be answering right now.
Okay, Mr. Daniel, I would like to get clarity here. I understand the emotions running high right now, but I need to get clarity on if you made efforts. What efforts were made to the Ministry of Sport? We know it's under a new sheriff right now, but we need to know what efforts were made by the Curling Nigerian Federation to the Ministry of Sport. What feedback did you get? Were those feedbacks justifiable by the Federation?
It's justifiable. Not single one is justifiable. Either way, we remember in 2018 when Slade Skeleton wanted to go to the China Games. They issued a note verbal for them to obtain their visas. These are young men from age 11 and 16 who has put it all online for the motherland. So what is the country doing? That's still my question till now.
But I still need to know. I still need to know if you did go to the Ministry of Sport.
We did.
And what feedback you got.
Let me explain further. I met with the Honorable Minister John Eno one-on-one, and we still met again after the president of all federation met with him with NOC. We did meet again, and we sent in a letter to all those effects. I have copies. If they say I'm lying, I can produce it to the press or anyone to see. Look, this is not all about Nigerian calling anymore. This is about the country itself. We the needful qualifying the country as the first and only African country in Gangwon 2024 as it stands in the world of coiling. What is the country now doing for us? Should it be somebody telling us that we are not directly under the supervision of the ministry, or should it be country first? I'm a diaspora, for crying out loud. How do they want to encourage us to keep coming back and develop sports in the country? How?
Mr. Daniel, I would like to also get the feedback. I know you've laid it on the table right now that you did contact the Ministry of Sport. You went there to Abuja, of course, to meet up with the Minister of Sport. But we need to know what feedback you got, because I can feel your emotions here that it's not a happy one with the competition just at the corner, January 2024. What feedback did you get from the Ministry of Sport, the Nigerian Ministry of Sport?
Has gone there to do follow-up and the rest, said, and I quote, even from where I called someone who has been in the ministry before to talk to them, the feedback from one of the acting director, Mrs. Amaka, said they are not going to issue a letter of such to these kids to obtain their visa because they are not directly under the supervision of the Ministry of Youth and Sport. This is not about who's under the ministry. This is not about NOC. This is about country first. Country first.
Okay. I remember having a conversation with you at the appointment of the new sport minister, John Onyinyechi, and you did say there that you wanted a minister who would, an all-inclusive minister that will take all sport as sport and not a football minister. I would like to ask you, Daniel, right now, do you think the ministry has got curling in its agenda for sport development in the country with all that is happening right now? Do you think the ministry has got curling in the agenda?
Say this, and I will repeat myself again. I've said that in previous interviews I've done in the past. Nigeria, we practice sport participation, not sport development. If we want a developmental program for sport in the country, we shouldn't be talking about just few selected sports. For example, football, which is the king of sports, is fully developed. We should be looking at other sports that can bring glory to the motherland. Again, now what we are doing back home is just the old version of developmental program, which is not developmental. It is participation. You want everybody to go and qualify, then you pack everybody to go and show off in any international championship or whatever. That is not it. We should be building sports schools. We should be putting these kids into that sports school and make sure that whatsoever they come out with is going to be a competing one, like the other counterpart in the developed country. Now I say this: Ministry of Sport, under the leadership of John Eno, should throw away the old syllabus and pick up a new dossier, which is going to help this country to move forward. Now, if somebody is telling somebody again in the ministry that because you're not under this, you're not under this, it would not be unfair enough for the Nigerian population who has not been recognized, haven't done the needful.
Okay, how far has the ministry, the federation, I beg your pardon, gone with the preparations for this youth Winter Olympics? We would like to know. We don't know who is watching right now. Let us know how far you've gone with the preparation and where you're stuck that you need intervention at this time.
Just on local level, these kids are training on synthetic. Every day, they leave school, they come to the secretariat, they train on synthetic. Whereas we qualified in 2022, December, countries have long been in camp. And now this is the winter season, starting from September to March the following year. Are not training in synthetic. Instead of us to be on ice, fine-tuning our programs, but not because of funds. I was able, as a president, to raise funds on my own to make sure that I bought the ticket. Now the accommodation and feeding, which is about 25,000 euros, has not been gotten anywhere. Of course, we need to get the visas there. Now, see source for funds anywhere I can from my own to make sure that these kids are properly trained. But till now, it's none. And time is choking up on us, and time is fading on us, and which is not good. And also, we don't have any sponsor. No sponsor of any kind. No man living or dead has given us money to this cause, except we, the officials of the Federation, and basically me, my family, and my directors.
All right, the games begin in January 2024. We just have a month and a few days, of course, to the competition, which the kids will make in history. I would like to know from you, Daniel, what your expectations, your demand from the ministry will be at this point. What do you want? You've told us where you're stuck. You've told us the challenges. What do you want exactly from the ministry or from any sport-loving, especially choir-loving Nigerians to do? What demands do you want to lay down right now for these kids to be able to represent their motherland and be a pride to the nation in Gangwon?
We've done our needful, qualifying the country. What is the country going to do for us now through the Ministry of Youth and Sport? And also, His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of this country, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, should also talk to the minister to also do the needful for this kid, to get them to ICE come December and to get them to Gangwon 2024. We shouldn't be looking at Paris 2024, whereas the immediate one is 2024 for the Youth Winter Olympics. I haven't said that, done that, then you cannot look into other programs. But what we want now is for the ministry and the country to also step in now and do the needful, issue the note for these kids, let them get their visas, support them financially, let us get this training camp, let us go to the championship and play and fine-tune ourselves ahead of Gangwon 2024 and then for the Gangwon 2024, because it is a green and white flag, not Damola's flag, not NOC's flag, not the Ministry of Youth and Sports flag, it is the country's flag. Okay,
we'll be hoping that this gets to the ears of those who matter and those who will be are supposed to do what they're expected to do, especially from the Ministry of Sport. I do remember the tweet coming from the Olympic Committee where Thomas Bach did put up a tweet on X saying Nigeria will be making history at the 2024 Youth Winter Olympics. And here we just finished talking to...
It has been fading away by some people in the ministry who doesn't want this to happen.
We will, of course, get more to know the reaction from the Ministry of Sport. Remember, we will not be one-sided on this. We'll also hear from what the ministry has got concerning the preparation of this Winter Youth Olympics. Thank you so much, President of Nigerian Curling Federation, Daniel Damola, for joining us today on the show.
Please do. Still we rise at Nigerian curling. Still we rise Nigeria.
Thank you so much. We'll be hoping that all these concerns are brought to book and the necessary steps are taken to make sure these kids, of course, make history. We go on a break right now. When we come back, we'll be going to handball. Don't go anywhere, and the game continues.